Hello everyone, my name is Linda Gaston. I'm pleased to present my final presentation for our Educational Technology 2300 course at Lakeland Community College. This lesson plan introduces college-level students and interested adult learners to the topic of object-oriented programming concepts. This presentation was designed to meet the requirements specified in the rubric for our final presentation. My presentation includes the following content: course description, learning objectives, required prerequisites, assessment techniques, required materials, and the learning activities for a Day 1 class. I chose to do a technology-infused lesson plan introducing students to object-oriented programming because this topic is becoming increasingly important. Today's software applications are becoming significantly larger and more complex. This has created a need for a programming language that facilitates software development, code reuse, and sharing. Object-oriented programming addresses these needs and also makes extending and maintaining code faster and simpler. For this reason, there is an ongoing shift from traditional procedural programming methods to object-oriented programming. This 3-day intensive course is designed to introduce students to object-oriented concepts, programming constructs, and development methods. 2 of the hours will be dedicated to intensive coverage of object-oriented programming. Each session will be 4 hours long. The course will provide the foundational perspective required for students to advance to programming in any object-oriented language. The learning objectives for this course were developed using the audience, behavior, condition, and degree approach established by Robert Mager. According to our professor, this provides helpful insight on the learner conditions that demonstrate learning and completeness of learning. According to Bergeron 2015, learning objectives should be developed to express what the learner will be able to accomplish at the end of the learning activity. Our instructors stressed that the objectives should discuss how learning can be observed or measured. The course has 3 principal learning objectives. They are stated as follows. Using content from class readings, lecture, and labs, students will accurately describe how object-oriented principles, including inheritance, data encapsulation, and polymorphism, are used in software development. The second learning objective is stated as follows. Using the Creatively.com cloud-based modeling software, students will develop class diagrams to model classes, methods, data, and messaging required to develop object-oriented programming solutions to the business problems described in class exercises that will be given to the student. The third objective is using the ALICE object-based programming environment, students will develop object-oriented programs that create 3 or more objects, change the attributes for each object, and initiate events for each object. As you can see, technology is infused into the objectives, and technology is infused into the learning activities as well. This course is designed for students with limited or no computer programming experience. They should have a working knowledge of their computer, including how to use their mouse and keyboard, and how to use the Windows or Macintosh operating system to access websites using a web browser, save their files on an external flash drive, and download files from an internet website. There will be several files that students will need to download to complete class activities. Students will be assessed based on their performance on quizzes that will be taken after each class session to test their knowledge of course concepts. Labs. This will include course labs measuring their ability to use the ALICE programming simulation software and the online Creately.com UNL modeling tool. There will also be a final exam at the end of the course. The final grade for the course is based on the total points the students earned in each of the required categories divided by the total points possible for the course. So this includes their total on labs and quizzes and the final exam for a total of 100 points. The course uses the traditional grading scale for A, B, C, D, and F. This scale is used at Lakeland Community College and a number of other higher education institutions. The course uses 2 textbooks. The first textbook introduces students to object-oriented modeling and design. The second textbook is focused on learning to program with the ALICE software. The exercises used in each class activity come from the course textbooks. Students will use the Creately free software that's available online at Creately.com to model UML diagrams and class diagrams as required in this course. These modeling activities provide helpful reinforcement of object-oriented concepts discussed in the class and also demonstrate the student's ability to use these concepts and model them. Another important technology used in this course is ALICE simulation software. This software can be downloaded for free at the alice.org website. The software is created by Carnegie Mellon University and helps students to simulate programming in object-oriented programming language. It provides a fun and easy-to-use interface and underscores concepts for object-oriented programming. Students will also post their observations and learnings about the course material on a class blog that will be created on EduBlog. This will help students to reflect on what they learned during the day and collaborate on the course materials with other students. Students must have access to computers in this course with the following system requirements. The computer must have at least 1 GB of RAM and a VGA graphics card and must be using the Windows XP or Mac OS 10.6 operating systems for students to fully leverage the features and the software that's used. They must also have a browser with Microsoft Internet Explorer 10.0 or higher, Google Chrome 35 and higher, and Mozilla Firefox 31 and higher. Either of these browsers can be used in the course. There are also specifications, as you can see here, for Macintosh browsers. Each class session is a total of 4 hours long with an intense focus on object-oriented concepts. What I am illustrating here is activities for day 1 of the class. During this class, we will introduce object-oriented programming, we'll discuss the concept of an object, discuss object-oriented programming constructs, including classes, methods, attributes, and events. This coverage will be 45 minutes of discussion and instructor lecture enhanced by PowerPoint, YouTube videos, and collaboration between the students. After this, there will be a student lab exercise where students will use lab computers and the Creately.com software to model the relationship between objects in a university application. This will be distributed as an exercise for students. After this, students will have an introduction to the Alice software. The instructor will lead a demonstration of the Alice interface, explain how Alice is used in object-oriented programming, and demonstrate Alice objects, methods, attributes, and events. As you can see, each of these activities are mapped to the 3 learning objectives that I discussed earlier. Students will then have a 15-minute break, after which they will apply their learning in an Alice exercise. This will require them to use the Alice software and the lab computers. Finally, students will be taken through a class blogging exercise. There will be an instructor-led demonstration of using the class blog, and then students will create their own blog entries reflecting what they learned for the day.